Speaking of Michigan State
Oh
though, that
yeah.
was scary on Tuesday. Like what
Wait, how
It's
happened?
far are
really
you from
sad.
Michigan? How
Yeah.
far are you
I'm
from
like
Michigan State?
3 hours away. Dude, I was like shitting and my mom like calls me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but like I didn't know what was happening, so I turned on Snapchat and and then I find out like this whole thing happened, and because of that, like my midterm got postponed to like
Really?
Friday, and it was virtual, but like that's not like the point. Like because like a lot of people in Michigan have friends who go to MSU,
Yeah.
so it was like very scary. And like there's so many people like crying and stuff because they didn't know where their friends were. Like Snap Maps was off for a lot of people, like they're freaking out. I think like two or three people died, but like I was like low key pissed because I'm like it's like this kind of like becoming a cycle now where it's like mass shootings happen, whether that be elementary, middle, high school, or even college. Then people talk about it, put pressure on politicians, and then nothing happens after. And I feel like that's just a recurring cycle that I feel kind of needs to be stopped and kind of like brought to attention the actual systematic process instead of just what needs to be done because clearly nothing's being done.
But the problem with that is though, there's not just one thing that needs to be done, and we don't really know what needs to be done. Like you could argue it's gun control laws, you could also argue it's mental health issues and not enough help for people who need it. There's too many factors that go into it, which is why it's such a problem of trying to fix it. And I feel like we're just becoming desensitized to this kind of stuff now. Like
Yeah.
it happens so often that like it's just a part of our day now. Like it just happens. Like obviously it's a huge deal, but the fact that we hear about it so much now, I just feel like each time I'm like, oh, it's another mass shooting. Like it's never as like, I don't know. Do you guys know what I mean? Like,
No, I
No,
understand.
Yeah,
I get
for
it.
sure.
I think it's completely mental though. Like if they wanted to stop people from buying guns, they already would have. Even if they put in more gun control laws, it's not going to stop the people who are getting guns to
Yeah.
get guns. They're going to get it. They're going to find their ways to get guns. So it wouldn't matter. It's like a completely like mental thing, you know, like when you pick up the gun, like you go through like this thought process, like what am I doing with my life, or like what am I doing here? But like for them, it doesn't matter. They just go and they do what they want to do. Like I'm pretty sure the MSU shooter posted on like Twitter or something, like you're
Yeah.
all gonna like die tonight or something like that, and like he just like pulls up to campus and just started doing everything. And it's kind of sad to see, to be honest.
do you remember the one that happened in Buffalo? The guy literally live streamed it on Twitch.
That was awful. That was absolutely
And then
awful.
the Parkland one, then the Newtown one. That one was terrible because that one we were like in elementary school and that happened, and like that was super scary as well. I remember the New York Giants like that year, they wore cleats that like especially like I remember Victor Cruz, all the victims like he had their like names on his cleats, and I feel like I don't know, I feel like it affects people in different ways, but like nothing really happens, and I feel like Rishi, like to your point, like I don't think it's all mental, bro. Like I feel like the less guns that are on the street, I feel like are better, and I feel like there has to be increased background checks because like most people aren't the ones who are doing mass shooting, right? It's the people who are mentally like ill, right, and have like these mental sicknesses. But like I agree, like guns shouldn't be completely banned, but there has to be like a bigger like. There's no way that in Texas, like you can get a gun at 18, but you have to wait till you're 21 to drink alcohol, right? Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense at all.
A lot of
Well,
things in
I
the
mean,
US just don't make sense in
yeah,
that
but
sense.
back to it, it's the same idea of like no one knows what it is. Like some people just anecdotally say, you know, other countries have had gun control laws, it decreases gun violence and mass shootings and killings of that nature, and in just general like homicide rates. But then you have other people saying that you don't think it's going to help because America fundamentally is slightly different than a lot of these other countries. Like just
Yeah.
the size of America, that we are not like a unified country in the fact that like every state has a very similar culture. There's very, very different like political culture, social culture in a lot of these states. You know, if you're in the Northeast, like we were in Jersey, then it's a very different culture than if you're down in Florida or down in Texas. And you see that when you travel to these different places, and it's different than other countries in a very different way because they might not have that same, you know, variance in culture. But I think then that becomes the issue. People don't really know if gun control is the issue or is the fix to this issue. People don't know if fixing mental health issues is like the problem to solve it. I think all of them are somewhat factors, but honestly, at the end of the day, the fact that it keeps happening and the fact that it keeps getting, you know, put through the news and gone away, that just creates more desensitization, like Ari said. And so,
And just speaking to that, like one thing I thought was pretty fucked up was the fact that they're playing their game today. Like they're playing a basketball game
They
today,
are.
which I think was so stupid because I'm like, this literally happened on Tuesday. At least give the players a week, 2 weeks to like
They're still playing their
process it.
game like the
They're
week
playing a
this
game.
stuff happens.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And like that's another reason why it's like desensitizing, right? Because it's like they see this a lot, they're like, oh, this is just another one. But like it's not, right? Like people
Yeah,
die.
it shouldn't be like
And
that.
like
Yeah.
that could have easily happened in our campus, right? It just happened to happen 2 hours away. Like that's like super crazy and super like terrible to think about, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, look at it. Like, I don't think there's anything that can be done in any near future about it. I think they're just going to keep happening. Because when you put out strict gun control laws, you also take out like defense as well for the people who actually are only using guns for defense. But then, like you said, it's strictly mental, bro. Like if everyone in their right mind is not going to be doing something like this. It's the people who are like mentally ill, the ones who are like seeking revenge or whatever they want out of this. They're doing it for a purpose, and it's like a small amount of the population, but it's still too much than what is needed for the US.
The mental health side of it, I feel like, is definitely the biggest aspect of it.
Yep.
At the end of the day, most mass shooters die while they're shooting, or they kill themselves after. It's a majority, like I think 50% die during the attacks, and then like another like from that percent, I think it's a good like 60 or 70% kill themselves. MSU shooter shot himself, right?
Yeah.
After, but I think at the end of the day, it's that idea of like, I want to do something before I leave. Like they have no option in their lives, and it creates this kind of like, this mental health like struggle
isolation
for them. And then and so they come up with this stupid way to like do something before they die, whether it's like, getting revenge or whatever their idea is behind what they're doing. But at the end of the day, it's a problem that we like are facing, and that no one really knows how to solve completely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was messed up because Tuesday was also Valentine's Day, and so a lot of people. I think it happened on Tuesday.
What day? Do you know what day it happened? Was it Tuesday?
I think it was Tuesday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Tuesday. And like so, a lot of people were out having a good time, and then this stuff happened, and then it just kind of ruined the vibe.
Thanks for watching this clip. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and check out our socials for more daily content.